to the 2020 Winter Invitationals for the Friend or Foe Esports Tournament. That was a fantastic first game. We had Team Bot taking the victory out from Team Jungle. They're starting on red side this time, and let's just go ahead and what are you guys' thoughts on that last game?
That was a wild one. Absolutely banger of a game. I had a great time watching it. I'm really curious to see what's going to happen here. Yeah, I won't say more than that.
Yeah, the Akali was just insane last. What was the Skarner? My God, that man just wouldn't die. I thought we were Olaf version 2. It's pretty brutal, so I'm hoping to see something a little bit more balanced from jungle this time for that.
And we are seeing some respect bans coming out for the Jhin and the Akali, both of them getting taken out of the equation completely. That is actually taking it away from Kenny Hammerspike as well, which is actually kind of interesting because they were initially hovering the Misfortune there. So it might be that Team Bot might be trying to sneak it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, with jungle banning Samira first, you have to ban the Jhin, otherwise it's always going to be first pick. And as we saw last game, Jhin is just better than anything else right now.
He really is. And then you've got, of course, the Amumu and the Nunu bans on the side of Team Bot, the kind of two just, you ban them because you got to get rid of them. We've got a Vayne ban as well. So that's a lot of ADCs being taken out of this equation. And so I'm kind of curious, what are we going to be seeing here? We're just kind of waiting for that first pick.
Yeah, what I was looking for last game was more damage from Team Jungle, either in something like a Kayn in the jungle or something like a Brand as support. Okay. And notably, Leona was banned last game. She is up. I think Leona is just better than Nautilus. So one of these teams should be looking for that.
This is true. Leona was a second tier ban though. So if they don't pick their supports on either side, that is still an option for the ban to come out. We've got the Ashe on the side of Team Jungle locked in. I like that. That's a lot of tank shredding that's available to you right there. And then you've got the Misfortune on the side of Team Bot as well. That is kind of like, they're like, okay, you made good work of Team Bot or Misfortune. We're going to show you how it's done.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm actually kind of surprised they Jungle banned Vayne. I think Vayne is probably one of the weakest AD carries right now in the game, just because of her low range makes it too easy to engage on her. But also just because the AD carry items aren't that great right now. But there's, like you were saying, there's the Leona locked in with Misfortune. Good combo.
Yeah, I really like to see them grabbing that. Leona is really good with Ashe and also really good against Ashe, and so just grabbing that for Team Bot really strong there. Though one thing I do like about the Vayne ban is both these teams are showing a affinity for the big beefy boys. And Vayne is really good into that sort of thing.
That was actually what I was going to bring up, is the fact that Vayne is just fantastic at taking down tanks. And boom, you said you wanted damage. It looks like they were listening. They took the Brand.
2 for 2, boys.
You know?
As a support main and as a Leona main, I don't like Brand. You think this would be a easy matchup for the Leona. He's not mobile. He's easy to dive, but it sucks to dive a Brand. He's just going to hit you with the E and throw a Q and you're stunned, and then hit you with a W. Now you're on fire for half your health. I do not envy Vayne right now having to play into that. But a Rammus coming out from jungle, I was not expecting that.
Well, Rammus is actually in a very good spot right now, and I think that could be one of those picks that Team Bot might be regretting in this upcoming game.
Yeah, Rammus is really strong, especially into an immobile AD carry like Misfortune. Absolutely a tool to punish that. Though I love seeing the Evelynn. Sunrise has been the sleeper pop-off player for Team Bot here, and getting him back on that Evelynn is going to be a lot of fun. Ashe and Brand are both very punishable by something like an Eve, especially with a Leona.
They really are, and see, looking at that current comp that we got for Team Bot, I immediately see that whoever gets stunned is just gone.
Yeah,
and that is definitely the win condition right there for Team Bot as of right now. It's Leona stuns, locks down a target. That target's not going anywhere until it's dead.
And I really like these bans out of Team Bot, getting the Malphite and the Ornn out of there. Really trying to say, we have the Leona. That is basically the only premier engaged champion in this game now, without those two tanks. And so that's going to give them a huge edge up in this game.
It is, and it's also taking away 2 very powerful tanks away from Team Jungle in order to kind of round out their comp, because as of right now, they are very squishy. You've got just the singular tanks on the side of each team, and Leona is just, by her very nature, is going to be way more tanky than Rammus is at first, but once that Eclipse goes down, she's not going to be dealing as much damage, or she's not going to be tanking as much damage.
We'll see, though. Team Jungle, I like removing the Aatrox and the Orianna, just getting comfort away from jungle. And the Yasuo!
That is going to be a spicy meatball coming out from the side of Team Bot. Like I said, if it gets stunned, it goes down.
Yeah,
that is a weird choice to ban Ornn and Malphite and then pick Yasuo. You think you'd want one of those two with your Yasuo. But we'll see. Maybe they have another plan for some knockups on the team.
Perhaps.
Volibear coming out for jungle. That's a very solid pick. Nice beefy boy to keep rounding up their comp. They want more. Jungle really wants to keep that beef going. And now a Vladimir for the mid lane.
Vladimir for Team Jungle plus a Volibear. I do like it a lot. You've got two bigger, beefier tanks in Volibear and Rammus, and then you've got a quasi tank, which is how much health he can heal himself up for on Vladimir. And then you have the response of the Mordekaiser over on the side of Team Bot.
Okay, so Volibear is never going to touch anybody ever. Or actually just Rammus. Rammus is never going to touch anybody. If he gets within 5 feet of them, he's getting ulted.
Yeah, he's going to that death realm.
I like Bot's comp a bit. I think Yasuo is a good answer to try to deal with AD carries, especially because I don't think the Winsu's nerf hasn't gone through yet, has it?
Yes, it has.
Okay, then yeah. Okay, maybe not quite as great a pick on it. I think actually really the big surprise for me is the Evelynn. I think Skarner would have been a little bit better here because he could just ult as Rammus charges at him if Mordekaiser doesn't. Save Mordekaiser's ult for something else. It says it's basically just a free engage onto you. But I'm a little concerned for jungle just because, one, Vladimir takes a while to come online, but also Ashe is going to have a very hard time getting to anybody in this fight without just getting blown up.
Yeah, that being said, though, I really like jungle's comp. Like we saw a lot at this previous Worlds tournament, Volley in the top lane is just this really powerful pick that is just a rock to have on your team, and Lights yesterday really popped off on this Vladimir. So jungle has plenty of damage and is a lot easier to execute than Evelynn and Yasuo. So I'm going jungle with my prediction.
So we win jungle with our predictions last game, and I feel like the win conditions are very similar this time around, with the big difference being Team Jungle does have the extra damage on the side of Brand and the side of Vladimir. However, that Evelynn means that the Ashe and the Brand can be completely removed from the equation almost instantaneously as soon as the fight starts. And so I've really got to kind of give my edge for Team Bot just because of the nature of the playstyle that we've seen come out of them, the amount of damage that they like to do, the amount of fighting they like to do. If they're able to take down jungle before Rammus and Vladimir can both come online, then I think that it's going to be a game that they can easily win.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give it to Bot too. Like I was saying, like we saw them pop off on this Evelynn yesterday. We saw Sunrise destroy it. That I'm kind of expecting more of the same here today. Like he put up an insane performance on that. So I would give them the benefit of the doubt just to start this off with. Also because, like you said, same kind of win conditions, and we saw how that played into last time.
We've already got ourselves a 5-man sack. Sunrise has been spotted out, taking a little bit of damage. That is going to have to be a flash that comes out in order to try to escape all the damage that's coming out. But that is going to be 2 flashes from Torres and from Yoni. And there's going to be a taunt onto Sunrise. That is going to be a first blood over to Rammus.
Well, I was wrong about that carry, or at least off the bat.
Right there, I think that was absolutely fantastic. Sunrise let themselves get caught out just a little bit, taking the volley from Torres, which if we look right now, Graviel and Torres have actually swapped places. So now we've got the support playing ADC and the ADC playing support, which is kind of the nature of the interestingness that we have going on with this game, just because it's the all-star sort of situation.
Yeah, that invade, I really like it. Big getting just that extra edge, because this game I think just lives or dies on this Evelynn.
It really does, and we've seen the amount of damage that Evelynn can do. We've seen Sunrise play it before. Right now we've got Gua on the Yasuo, and the thing is, we've seen Gua play stylized champions like Zed. He can be a beast when it comes to those games.
Yeah, if Gua is able to have more of an impact on this game than he did last time, that'll be a huge boon here for Team Bot. Though also, oh lord, what was it? Yeah. I'm interested to see if Torres can effectively use the Ashe, because Ashe is actually an interesting pseudo counter to Evelynn, with Evelynn's stealth being able to avoid wards, but Ashe has that hawk shot to find her at her jungle camps.
Exactly, so you kind of know where they are whenever they're doing the actual camps themselves. And see, one thing I actually kind of like the way this top lane matchup is going to go, because you got Volibear with his shield, and you got Mordekaiser with his shield as well. The Storm Call is just going to basically kind of cancel each other out. So we're actually having a nice bit of sustain up in the top lane.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a little bit slow at the start. Rammus can gank early, but like, it's pretty obvious when a Rammus is coming at you, and Evelynn's not gonna do really many ganks till 6s. And as I say that, she goes right top for a gank.
That is exactly what's going on. Sunrise looking for that, gets the charm off onto their Bow Explode, having to flash, almost flashes into the pull from Mordekaiser, but does not quite get yanked in.
Yeah, it was a really clean flash by Bow Explode, keeping himself alive up there.
Mm-hmm. Managed to get himself over the wall, and it's such an angle that he didn't have to worry about the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and he held it really well too. Like, he held it until the Q started. I mean, until that started coming back. So the claw was already past the point he was going to flash to the max range. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that was a good flash. Like you said, that was a good flash. It was very well timed holding it, especially until all of the CC and displacements were removed.
Right there, the Death Trap does get him. Bow Explode is going to be able to win this fight relatively easily, as Crow has to back off. Otherwise, he's going to get himself taken down. Is not able to use his shield to heal himself, has to use it to mitigate damage, and is going to have to back.
Yeah, and there's that Volibear like we were seeing at Worlds.
And we've got a Rammus going in onto the Gua. That is a nice taunt, but a cleanse coming out from Gua in order to keep himself from getting having to fight those two.
Really good choice by Gua to run cleanse this game.
We got
every member except Vlad has a hard CC that he can cleanse out of.
This is true, and right there, that was a nice dash, nice bit of damage onto Tagaki, but not enough in order to actually force a fight to continue. And so one of the things I think is kind of interesting with the way Yasuo is played out in the new item setup is it takes him much longer to come online, and he's much more of a mid-game champion than a supreme late-game champion from my experience. And right now we've got, looks like Yoni once again going in onto Gua, trying to get that taunt off. He does. He hasn't used his ball, I don't think, but decides not to.
And this is actually how we saw Team Jungle execute with the Vlad yesterday, where basically they just babied him. The jungle camped his lane, the support camped his lane, and it didn't look too effective until he killed the whole enemy team.
Looks like, in all honest, right now we've got Torres going in on the Kenny Hammer Spike. That is a lot of damage coming out. That is a huge cleanse coming out from Torres, but Torres gets the kill onto Kenny. Let's Do Vanal is in a nasty spot as well. He's taking way too much damage. That is going to be another kill over to Ashe, and that is not something you want to see happening to Team Bot.
Yeah, Jungle's getting a good lead.
Huge success with Jungle with the role swap. Torres now in the ADC instead of support.
Okay, so one of the things I want to break down about that fight that just I thought was absolutely fantastic was you had a nice flash from Brand in order to make sure to secure that kill onto Kenny Hammer Spike, while at the same time there was just so much slow coming out from the Ashe arrows, which is one of the things that so many people underestimate, that you can't get away from the Brand.
Yeah. I mean, that's the really punishing thing about Ashe, especially in this early game, is if you take a bad trade, you're going to take a really bad trade, because you just can't walk out of it.
Exactly, and it looks like right now we've got Sunrise sitting up in the alcove in the top, going for those alcove plays. Crow is trying to bait Bow Explode, but I have a feeling Bow just has a good idea that something is up and not quite right.
Yeah, he's still something fishy up there. He's like, I'm not going to step forward right there. He's already he's already a little bit of down, actually. Like, despite winning some of these fights, he's down 10 CS right now. So he doesn't want to give it anything up, have to blow his teleport, and then be unavailable for any sort of upcoming team fight. And ooh, he gets grabbed.
That is a nice death grabs coming out from Crow the Moonlit right there, as Crow has to rotate around. We've got a nice bit of fighting going on in the topside jungle. We had an engage caused by Uni. We had a Gua and Tagaki both moving into the top lane. Sorry, I am just blanking on names at the moment for some odd reason.
Good. It's all good. I mean, we could always call him Lights too. That's who it is. But I like this name. You should stick with this one more. Tagaki sounds really cool.
Yep, and right now Crow has decided, you know what? You let yourself get really low, so I'm going to take you to my death realm. We're going to fight this out, and that is going to be a kill for Bow Explode. Crow taking Bow Explode down. I think it's the reversed map right now that is throwing me off the most, I've just realized, for whatever reason. And it's just one of those things that this is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, now the bot's on the board. This is what they needed. They needed someone on the team to start stepping up. And just like last game, it's Crow. He's coming in, grabs a kill for himself, and now he's starting to exert his will on to Bo. Bo does grab some MR off that back. Ooh, Gua.
That is a nice flash from Yoni onto Gua, but once again, the cleanse comes out and stops that taunt, so he does not get stuck in the mid lane.
That flash really paying off for Gua. Love that he took that. And we'll see. The Sunrise is continuing to jungle.
Vano going in onto Graviel. That was a nice Zenith Blade as he got in. The Sunrise stacks are coming off, doing a lot of damage, but Vano is taking a lot of magic damage coming out from Brand. Brand has to back off just a little bit, but he could take out Vano if he gets the nice dash off. In the meantime, we got a fight going on in top lane. Bow Explode going in onto Crow. That is a nice Stormbreaker coming right down on top of Crow. He's able to tank the tower, but is able to take out Crow the Moonlit, but he's taking a couple of tower shots as well, and that is going to be a kill on Torres, taking out both the bot laners once again. And up in the top lane, we had Evelyn taking out Bow Explode. So let's watch this fight once again. We're going to watch one of these fights. Oh, that was what it was. Rammus decided to come down bot lane. Kemi Hammer Spike taking down the Misfortune, then taking down the Leona.
Yeah, that was
good.
That was good. This Ashe is starting to get a little out of control. She is 4-0-1 right now. When she backs, she's probably going to get a full item off that. Ooh, Gua, though, gets the engage.
Nice engage, nice last breath, doing a lot of damage, and that is could have been an easy kill if Vladimir had not flashed away.
You get the flash out of them, that's always worth it. But like we were saying, like it's a trade across the map, but overall I'd say it's in favor of jungle. Their big carry is getting all of these kills and is starting to be, or not their biggest carry, I think I'll be Vlad in the late game, but their main carry right now, the Ashe, is getting all of these kills and is starting to come online. I think once she just backed right now, she gets the full Kraken, it's Kraken's bow, right?
Kraken Slayer.
The Kraken Slayer, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, the full Kraken Slayer is on her right now, so she's going to be even more threatening. And now, Bo and Crow dealing with Sunrise again.
Crow and Bo dealing with Sunrise right now, and I feel like Crow is just looking to get this kill. It's the execute, though, from Sunrise that's going to take it out.
Yeah, Sunrise is starting to get out of control.
Nice Zenith Blade, but Vanal has got himself caught out in a bad spot. He does manage to block the Rammus, though. That is a cleanse coming out from his Fortune to stop the taunt, and once again, they're able to disengage. That was really done by Leona right there.
Yeah, interesting that the Rammus just ran past the Leona, tunneling a little too hard on the Misfortune. I think Ashe could have actually been there to hit the Leona. But I don't know. Right now, I have more confidence in this, the strength of this Evelyn than I do in this Ashe for the game going forward.
Yeah, I agree, because, Ashe could be as fed as she wants. If that Evelyn touches her, like, even so much as glances in her direction, she's probably going to die. And if
Crow
she's
is
dead,
baiting Bo over to the Tri-Brush, but they don't know what's going on. They don't know that we've got Rammus over here as well. Crow is having to fight for his life against Bow Explode. Has to pop his shield. The Death Realm is on cooldown right now, so he cannot take anyone away. I don't know which way this is going to go. That is a nice flash coming out. Evelyn trying to do as much damage as they can. That is going to be a kill by Sunrise over to the Rammus. And this is Bow Explode trying to heal up as much as he can. But he does manage to take down Crow the Moonlit. But he gets taken down by Sunrise in the end. Tagaki, though, comes up and finishes off the Evelyn.
That is a big shutdown going over this Vlad. That is what Tagaki has been looking for to get online. And we'll see if he can repeat his performance from yesterday and really carry Team Jungle here.
Yeah, I would like to point out, I think both those kills went over to the Evelyn. So despite dying, giving over the gold, this is still something they need to be very cautious of for jungle. That Evelynn is still hurting so much, and it's only gonna hurt even more now with those gold in a fight bottom side.
Ooh, that was a just missed Zenith Blade, and Yoni right now getting the taunt, and once again another cleanse coming off of Yasuo. It feels like every single time Yoni tries to get that Yasuo, Gua's just like, not today.
Yeah, you'd really like to see Yoni time that cleanse summoner spell and try to go back within that window, because that's the third gank that Gua has gotten out of because of that cleanse.
Yep, and this looks like it's going to be an easy Drake going over to the side of Team Bot, and that is going to be a caught out Graviel as he just gets taken down.
That's the sort of mistake that you really shouldn't be making at any sort of level of play. I can't remember who told me this, but I heard someone once say that a big mistake that new players make is they feel the need to watch Dragon die. And that looks like what Graviel just did. You know the dragon's gone, you know you can't contest, but you still walk up anyways and just give away free kills.
Right now, Sunrise is timing this Rift Drop in order to try and take this mid lane turret, leaving Gua to do damage to the turret itself if he wants to, but it's not going to be quite enough in order to take down 3 plates, just brings it down to 1.5. Sunrise looking to fight Yoni in the jungle. I'm not entirely sure if Evelynn wants to fight a Rammus by herself.
I don't know, she is so much stronger than Rammus. Rammus only has Bomby Sinner and Moby boots compared to Dark Seal and full Rocket Belt on Sunrise's side.
I think there's a fear though that Vladimir just roams up, and like you said, the Vladimir got a lot out of that kill. Hasn't backed yet for anything, but you don't want to give more over to Vlad, even if it is killing the Rammus. You might as well just play it safe and just be cautious. There's other fish to fry on the map. You can go hunt another bear in the top lane. Or you can go down bottom side and get some roast. Actually, I don't know what you call Brand. I guess I don't know if it's a person or the demon.
Get the grill.
You get a grill. You just get a free grill in the bot lane.
Right here in the mid lane, we've got Gua just easily cleaning up that minion wave. Crow is fighting Bo Explode, doing a lot of damage, but it's just not. Bo is doing more than he is. That is a very dangerous spot to be in. Takes Bo into the death realm because he knows that Sunrise is there. He's like, okay, even if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna at least get you low enough to where the execute is gonna take you out. And then we've got a huge amount of damage coming out, but Crow manages to get it for himself. A nice takedown from Bo Explode, just showing how powerful Mordekaiser can be if he's able to get strong enough. That was a crystal arrow coming out. I don't believe it found a target, though, in the bot lane. Although it must have, because Kenny Hammerspike has been slain by Graviel. Okay, so we're going to rewind this back just a bit. Torres is looking to set up. We've got a crystal arrow coming out here in 3, 2, and there it goes. Does hit Kenny Hammerspike, but it's immediately cleansed. That is a nice solar flare coming out from Leona. Graviel goes down to Kenny Hammerspike, but Leona goes down as well. And then we got Torres, who tries to finish Kenny off. Does have enough to tank the turret, but is not going to be able to escape himself, and he does.
And there's that perma-slow on the autos coming back in.
Oh,
and the Vlad rotating to the Evelynn.
Vlad rotating to the Evelynn, but we have the flash plus the ultimate coming out from Evelynn to try and escape. Yoni is having to run away from Crow, as for the thing is, Mordekaiser does not need to auto-attack you in order to do damage.
Yeah, like we were saying. Actually, wait.
Oh, we've got a Volibear coming up to try and take this out. Rammus is coming up behind. They're looking to pincer this. Is it going to work out, though? I don't think it is, because Crow is just too dang big right now, dealing so much damage just with his passive, and is just immediately shredding the Rammus as he shows up, but gets taken down before Brand is able to get killed.
Really good roam out of the Graviel there. I don't think they could have won that fight without him. And this Vlad is getting to be a problem.
He definitely is. Right now, we do not have any healing mitigation on the side of Team Bot, and that is going to be something you absolutely have to have versus a Vladimir.
Yeah, and like we were saying, like that's why you got to be careful with Evelynn if you go and fight that Rammus, especially because you know it's what Drake is it? It's the it's Infernal Drake. Like there are parts of the map are ripped open. He can get from mid lane to the blue buff very quickly, and we saw right there. Evelyn gets basically chunked out of the fight immediately. And while Crow and Gua do keep it going forward, and Evelyn does come back around, Sunrise is just too low, and he had to use the ult for the escape earlier, so they can't quite finish off a target. They grab one, obviously. They grab the, I think it was the Rammus that went down. But outside of that, they're just had nowhere else, nothing else to really finish off the target.
So arrow by Gua, I don't know if that was just psychic or really well timed, but he does get burst down by the brand and gets taken down. That is another kill over to Torres. And in the meantime, we got top lane once again going on. A huge fight going on right here. Bo Explode having to run away from Crow. Crow knows how much damage he does. He knows how much damage he can block. Bo, you are not in a position to be able to actually fight this. Look at that healing, though, coming out from Bo Explode. Crow, in the meantime, does flash into the bush in order to avoid getting hit once again and takes Bo out.
Really nice flash by Crow the Moonlit there. I'm pretty sure that won the fight for him.
And that is a Zenith Blade coming out, stopping the Graviel. We've got a huge Solar Flare coming out, which does manage to actually stop Rammus. But Rammus, they've got a bit of a split fight going on. The passive coming out from Leona does allow Kenny to kill Brand. Tagaki is almost able to get in onto Sunrise, but Sunrise is just able to escape. Wait a
really good
time
micro play there by Yoni. The Evelyn mark was on Ashe, and Yoni positioned really well so that Evelyn couldn't get the charm onto the Ashe. Otherwise, that would have been a disaster.
And Sunrise again forced to use the ult to get out of the fight. Can't use it to finish off a target. And it's going to be down for this dragon right here. So he's got to be a little bit careful. If he gets caught out, he really does not have any escape tools. The flash is down. The ult is down. But it looks like Yoni, I guess he's going to try to contest it, but he's all on his own right now.
Yoni is trying to contest it. He is looking to dive in. They know that's exactly what he's looking for. Right now, this is going to come down to a smite battle, and that is going to be a red team winning it.
The most anticlimactic smite fight I've seen in a while.
I don't think so. That was actually, like, I think both smites dropped on there, and so that was pretty darn close. I think just had a... That is going to be a caught-out Sunrise. Graviel dealing so much damage. The dodge from the Crystal Arrow means that the burn is going to be what takes Evelyn down.
That's a big shutdown.
Almost another kill over to Ashe, though.
Yeah, and I really liked your point about Evelyn being forced to keep using her ult using her ult defensively rather than offensively. And what we've seen is the Fed members of Team Bot haven't really increased their lead, whereas the Fed members of Team Jungle have kept getting scarier.
They definitely have. Crow right now is caught out by these three members. He's using the Death Realm to escape, try and get himself something before he gets taken out, but is not quite able to do it. But at the same time, Gua has come up to say hello. That is going to be a nice pull and an ultimate, a last breath coming out from Gua to take out the member of Team Jungle. But there's fight still going to go down, and then those two members of Team Bot are going to get taken out. I did not realize that the displacement from Death's hand, was it a whirlwind that actually knocked her up?
No, it was the Mordekaiser pull.
Yeah,
okay.
It counts as technically like a displaced knockup, so it does allow you to proc the Yasuo. So that was really good. That actually helped them from going down just 0-2.
Did you see the damage coming out from Tagaki? And that is the execute taking him out.
Finally, Sunrise gets to use the ult to finish somebody off.
Finally.
Yeah, I think the window to Yasuo off the Mord pull is a very small one, so he must have been just hammering that last breath to make sure he hit that timing. Ultimately, didn't end up matter. Torres is still 10-0-1, really popping off here.
Torres is absolutely monstrous right now. That is a lot of gold that's available to whoever takes him down.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful. Like, he's getting really close to dying a couple of these times in recent fights. I would be really cautious if I were him and his team. Like, they need to stick on him like glue.
Definitely, and I have a feeling what we're going to see right now is it looks like Vanal is probably looking for an engage. They're probably waiting for it. They don't know where Brand is. I think if they had realized that Ashe was all by herself, they probably would have gone in a little bit harder. Crow, in the meantime, is in the bot lane fighting Bo Explode. By him, he's having to 2v1 this fight. It looks like there's not a lot he can do. He does Death Realm the Brand in order to try and take him out, but he just gets stunned. There's a lot of damage coming out. He does manage to take him down, which means he's now got Brand's stats as he's fighting Bo Explode with the soul of his friend. Gua is having to use a blast cone to try and escape, does manage to do it, but it looks like Bo is going to get taken down by Crow. Yoni, in the meantime, is chasing Gua down, but he's about to walk into two more members of Team Bot. Gua has turned, and now Yoni is the one who's running for his life.
Oh no, disaster for Team Jungle again.
Yeah,
That's
that
like deja vu to last game. It's going close and then just one play blows the whole game open like that.
yeah, and
That's exactly it.
it's Crow again. Like he on this Mordekaiser, he is just tearing it up right now. He is like he's dueling 2 people at one time. He's just basically a raid boss, and they can't deal with him.
They really can't. That was a nice cleanse coming out from Torres in order to try and escape. But right now, Torres is the one who's about to get caught out. That's going to be a stun and a bullet time coming out, but it's not going to be enough. And Leona's going to be the one who has to take him down. And Bow Explode is still in this fight. Gua gets a last breath onto Bow Explode, dealing a decent amount of damage. Bow is completely caught out, and that is going to be a dead Team Jungle. And we got a TP coming out from Team Bot as they're just like, you know what? Let's get this Baron as Crow decides to join him up here in this Baron fight. Sunrise, in the meantime, is about to get taken out by the Baron itself just from the auto attacks.
Well, that was quite the turn of events. Torres finally going down, doing his best to carry his team, but everyone's just falling around him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
kill on him. I missed it.
It was Leona. So basically, Vanel was sticking on to Torres as best he could, got a couple of stuns off, but the bullet time I think was actually stopped short, and as a result was not able to finish.
Okay, I wasn't sure that if it was the Leona or if the last proc from Kenny had gotten it. So that's not the greatest target at this point to put it on, but I mean, if you're Leona, you can always... Oh, I thought he was going to go for Locket.
Right there, we've got Sunrise trying to get some damage off, but just walks right into the rest of Team Jungle and gets taken out by the passive from Brand. You do not want to be making mistakes like that right now.
Yeah, Sunrise finally slipping up this game. I feel like he's been so solid for this whole series.
Bo, in the meantime, is trying to get away. Vanel is the one who's caught out, trying to take as much as possible. That was a nice Zenith blade to stop the engage. In the meantime, though, Tagaki's just on the back line doing work. So much damage coming out as Kenny Hammerspike gets taken down, and that is going to be a 1 fight over to Team Jungle.
Wow, that looked easy.
Yeah, they couldn't get to Torres, and Torres cleans up that fight. Quick
And that
kill.
is a
Or for nothing.
disgusting ace over to the side of Team Bot as they lose their Baron buff, making it completely worthless. And in the meantime, Team Jungle's like, okay, we got to finish this game out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to Torres. He has played in both seasons of FOF so far, and I feel like I have never seen him have a bad game. He is just such a consistent
Do you
player
say that?
for his team.
Caster curse right there, but in the meantime, Sunrise is getting caught by Yoni and is having to try and run away as best they can. Yoni knows, hey, Sunrise, I've got your number, but Leona's like, no, you don't. But at the same time, we've got Tagaki up here. Leona doing what they could, was not quite able to save them, though.
And unfortunately, Sunrise surviving just long enough to give the kill to the much worse person to give the kill to than Rammus.
That is very, very true.
And we're starting to see Lights or Tagaki get online here with this Vlad, so not only Torres is having to do all the heavy lifting of killing the opponents.
Yeah, we thought Torres was going to start to become a little bit of a liability in terms of being the main carry because everyone was just getting to him so quick. But like you said, Tagaki doing so much damage now. The
Crystal Arrow, Crow just barely dodging out of the way in time. That was a beautiful play by him. And we got a big fight now popping up in the mid lane. We got a 4v4 as Graviel, Yoni, and Bow Explode are all here. But at the same time, it looks like Yoni's deciding to back off as the rest of Team Bot is now rotating in the direction of top. Going for that blue buff. Could be seeing a fight here in the jungle. Crow getting as much damage as he can, and that is a nice steal by Graviel to take the blue buff away from Crow. Crow's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, Brand is probably the best person for Team Jungle to have that blue buff on as well.
Well, Vladimir's already got Team Bot side blue buff, so.
Yeah, one thing I would like to see out of Team Bot going forward here, you know, just to see if they can get more out of this misfortune. Both the teams that have had...
We've got a nice bit of damage coming down as Tagaki gets caught out. He has to pull in order to try and escape. We got Bow Explode diving into the backline. There's so much damage coming out from the side of Team Jungle. They're going to be able to clean this up. Taz taking so much damage from Torres. Crow not able to get onto that backline. He just goes down as well. That is a huge shutdown going onto Torres as Team Jungle have now cracked this game open, and it is theirs for the taking.
Absolutely. Crow the Moonlit inadvertently pulling the Vladimir on top of his AD carry, which is exactly where he wants to be. I'd be a little salty if I was Kenny Hammerspike with that one.
Yep, Graviel tanking a couple of tower shots, and in the meanwhile, Sunrise is looking to get that charm off, but is not quite able to. Torres is like, hey, I see an Evelyn over there. I want the Evelyn. Evelyn has to flash away, does have to dodge a crystal arrow. Look at that sidestep. That was beautiful, but it was not going to be enough in order for them to actually be able to take Torres out.
Yeah, a lot getting burned right there on the side of Sunrise, but he gets the arrow out, so at least that's not going to be an engage on. I thought that fight honestly was going to go in the favor of Team Bot, but Guo was just, he wasn't able to get into it until basically the fight was already over. I think if he'd been there from the beginning, I think they would have been a one fight for them. But yeah, they have to stick closer together and be a little bit more tight knit with these engages, because it's really honestly on a knife's edge. If they slip up...
Got a charm coming out as once again Yoni gets caught. The missed Zenith Blade by Banal is going to be so devastating, as this fight is gonna turn around as Torres has arrived in the mid lane and is just shredding Gua. There is no health on that poor man, and he has to go in with the last thread to try and avoid the Bully Bear, but that's just going to put him in a position where he does not want to be fighting the Yoni. That is going to be a lot of damage coming out, though, as Team Bot is starting to turn this around. They do manage to take out two members. Graviel and Yoni are both down right now. That is going to be mid lane turret down as well. Tagaki is taking a lot of damage from Crow at the same time. He does have to pull to avoid the Death's Grasp. Gua is just dashing around. We have a golden coming out from Tagaki in order to try and avoid it. We got another ultimate coming out from Bo Explode. That is a very short cooldown. That is going to be a turret shot that takes down the member of Team Bot right there. I'm pretty sure that was Kenny Hammerspike, and that very well could have gone the other way.
Like I was saying, wild fights.
Yeah, like I was saying, like once all five people there, like it just becomes such a strong fight. The Yasuo is finally he's pretty online at this point. He's pretty scary. He's got the armor pen. He can shred right through the Rammus. He can shred through the Volibear.
Is just coming zooming in, but decides to stop at the minion wave.
Yeah, and like you said, notably, the fight that Team Jungle won, Gua didn't show up till the very end and basically accomplished nothing but dying. But right there, getting that knock-up on Ashe and I believe Brand as well, and taking the last breath at what must have been the last second to get that fight started was really well played by them, by Gua.
It really was, and that was a nice attempt to steal by Graviel, but Evelyn does manage to secure that Infernal Drake, putting them on soul point.
Yeah, that's Jungle's gonna have to contest these next two if they want to have a chance at this. They're trying the Baron up, but Yoni's getting really low. I think they're gonna have to back off this right here. If Yoni goes down, like I don't think they can really withstand much of the onslaught from Bot. Good plays from Bot. They are still getting this game. They had a rough early game, but they dragged it out. They slowed the pace, and now they're online. They're scaling. They're becoming threats.
That is a crystal arrow that's going to land on Crow the Moonlit. That's going to put him in a very bad spot, but he does ult Bow Explode in order to try and get himself a little bit of time to keep himself alive. That is going to be a huge amount of damage coming out. He has to flash over the wall in order to not die, but right now we've got 4 members of Team Bot have now arrived, and we've got Evelyn Sunrise on his way, bringing up the back line.
Yeah, Bo had to flash out too, so that's down. I think he didn't ult, so it's just a crystal arrow down right now. But it's going to be a
right now we've got a bait
Bot,
on the that was a missed charm on the side of Sunrise. That is going to mean a pop to Evelyn right there. That means there is no smite on the side of Team Bot. We've got a huge TP coming in as Volibear just dives into the back line. Bullet time coming out though, and is just absolutely shredding Team Jungle. That was not they were all positioned so poorly, but the Brand ultimate is bouncing around, doing so much damage, and that is going to be a double kill over to Miss Fortune as they just clean that up. Woo!
So good for Bot, but the Brand explosions finish everyone off at the end. Oh, so unfortunate. It started really bad for them right here. You see Sunrise go down just on his own on the side, and the Volibear teleports in. Bo's looking for blood, but no one gets onto Kenny, and his bullet time shreds down 2 whole people. Both tanks go down immediately, and then the Ashe follows suit. But Graviel's passive manages to help clean it up, and no one can turn on to Tagaki. They clean up the fight, and now it's honestly basically dead even. It's a 2,000 gold difference, but at this point in the game, that means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, absolutely wild fights coming out of here. I think we're starting to see the point in Team Jungle's comp where the Ash's damage is starting to fall off a little bit as Ash does. But just in time for this Vlad and Brand to really start just tearing things up. That being said, though, I really feel like Rammus just hasn't been anywhere to be found this whole game.
Yeah, one of the things that happened in that last fight was you had everybody clustered together, which meant the bullet time did manage to hit a lot of targets, but it wasn't quite doing enough in order to really finish anyone off. And at the same time, because they were all clustered together, they all got hit by the Brand ultimate, which was able to shred everyone. And that was the key difference between that fight right there.
Oh, good lord. How far through this game are we? Only 30 minutes. I feel like we've been here for 3 hours. This is a good game.
Oh yeah,
this is definitely an intense game, and is one of those ones that has just got you on the edge of your seat because there's so many twists and turns, up and down. It's a roller coaster of emotions right now.
Yeah, and each team over a kill a minute. This is a bloody, bloody game. I feel like I haven't had any time to sit down and take stock of what's actually happening here.
Raviel is getting caught out. That was a nice bit of damage coming out, and Evelyn just easily eats him up.
Oh no. That's certainly got to be Baron, right?
That could very well be Baron, and meanwhile, in the bot lane, we've got Gua styling on Bo, doing as much damage as he can. Yoni is now caught by the Mordekaiser. That is not someone he wants to be fighting because Mord's damage does not come from his auto attacks. Gua is just easily locking Bo Explode down and just styles on him, completely shredding him. Death's Grasp does miss Torres. Torres does have to go golden in order to try to survive, but is not able to do it. That is a nice Zenith Blade onto Tagaki, keeping him in the fight. Right now, Crow is trying to back off, but does not manage to get taken down. Wow, I was all over the place on that one.
I think that's game right there. 5 members down, an ace for bot. The teleport coming in from Crow, him and Gua are down there. Gua wasn't even in that fight, didn't even need to be, and they managed to, he's going against everything I said earlier, but just goes down bot side, takes the turret. Now they've taken 1 inhibitor, taken 2, and they're pushing for the end right here.
They are pushing to the end, and I think this is something they absolutely need to do. That Zenith Blade comes out, locks the Brand down. Brand just explodes like the firecracker he is, but we got a huge amount of passive damage coming out from Brand right now. It's still taking them out, but Penny Hammer Spike is hitting the Nexus, and he's just wanting to end this game. And that's it. Final game goes over to Team Bot. What a crazy roller coaster was that?
What a crazy last 10 minutes of that.
Absolutely. I feel like Team Jungle was agreeing with me that this game was getting really long and tiring because it looked like they just kind of got caught sleeping at the end there. They were playing so tight, and then just suddenly they all get picked at the same time.
That is literally what happened, and right now we're looking at the damage charts, and we can once again see that Team Bot they don't even dominate it, which is one of the most interesting things. Let's see damage to objectives, though. Because if we're looking at total damage to champions, Mordekaiser easily takes it out, and then it's 4 members of Team Jungle. But if we look at this right here, the amount of damage to the objectives, it's almost like Team Jungle never even touched a turret.
Or the Jungle. I want to give a huge shout out to Sunrise for consistently jungle diffing Team Jungle. You hate to see that if you're Team Jungle.
Yeah, and it felt like even when Jungle, they won fights, either it'd be a Pyrrhic victory and they'd lose too many people to actually go contest anything, or in the case of and that's actually really disappointing to see on the turret's damage. The Rammus is meant for
right there, we're gonna see that all of the damage to the turrets was done by the Ashe.
Yeah, Rammus never even went near them, or also we were saying, besides it being Pyrrhic victories, they would win a fight and they wouldn't push a turret. They would just farm some waves, go farm the jungle, set up vision, but never actually do anything with it. And because they never pushed that advantage, never got all that gold sitting on the map with turrets, it allowed Bot to stall the game out, get the time to scale up. Crow helping that out immensely with his performance on the Mordekaiser. And they just dragged it on and on and on until the point that they just outscaled. Yeah, the Vladimir came online first, but once Yasuo was online and in the fight, Mordekaiser scaled up, Evelyn's there, Misfortune's there. It's just madness. And I would say also really quick, my last thing on that, all of the 24,000 damage Kenny did, I'm pretty sure 15,000 of that came in the last 5 minutes of the game with his ults, because he hit them beautifully.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was mentioning that for the beginning of this game and the last game, neither Misfortunes were really doing much, but then there was especially that one fight that they actually ended up losing, but Kenny got just a massive ult through the entire enemy team, finally showing what Misfortune can actually bring to a team comp.
That was definitely devastating right there. And now I believe we're going to be doing an interview, so stick around. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be doing an interview with Team Bot, our victors of the 2020 Winter Invitational Friend or Foe Esports Tournament. Stick around.